It's nothing but melted buildings. They will tell you some ooga booga caveman came here to carve this or something. Do you think people with donkeys and chisels got some bricks all the way up there? Okay, welcome back friends. We are gonna look at some more evidence, which we like. So to anyone here, if you're new to the whole idea that mountains are melted red brick buildings, please watch my first and second documentary first, links in the description box, so you got a better basic understanding of the whole thing. Otherwise you might not understand what I'm gonna present here in these video uploads. So please watch the documentaries before you proceed, but of course you're free to do what you want. So we got a lot of different types of heat damage today. I don't have any specific levels of heat damage or whatever, no similarities, you know. It's just all over the place today. I just grabbed a bunch of stuff from Yandex and now we're gonna look at them and what we came across. So as you can see here, you got the red brick arch and more stuff inside here, but at the bottom all the red bricks turned into balloon rocks. But you can still see bits of bricks in here. Maybe my face is in the way to the right, I'm not sure. But you got them in here and here and here as well. Nobody ever builds like this. It's all heat expansion, balloon rocking here. Heat damage here as well. And here, this as well, very cooked out and heat damaged. It all used to be red bricks, okay? They will claim somebody built like this, but that's not the case. You can see viscous holes, you can see scorching and melting. This is what happens when you get altered states of matter because of heat. So the bricks turn into this stuff. And this is all heat damage. Just look at it. You never build like this, you always do it with the red bricks. Look here, you even have a brick in here that's still there. It's all red bricks, heat damaged. It's not very difficult to understand, people. You just gotta open your heart to the truth of this reality, which many other people manage to do, so you should too. Here, all the bricks all rocked up, turned into this. And on the side it's all melting here, rock curtaining over, melting into one chunk here, which they call a mountain now, to the left as well. All melted here, melted bricks. And floodwaters. This realm is devastated, and you need to understand that, and how deep the lies go. So here you have an aperture into one of these melted buildings. Of course they will claim somebody carved it out here or dug it out for you know, a mine or a bunker or whatever. That's not how this opening came here in the first place. Yeah, they might have repurposed some of it and turned them into, you know, mines and bunkers and stuff. But this was already here, this opening. This is the archway, the aperture into the building. And you can still see red bricks just laying around here. For no apparent reason, right? What are these bricks doing here? And you got this metal covering here. They probably covered it up after the reset to avoid people going in there freely. But now it's all rusted and damaged. Or it could have been original, I don't know. I do not know. There is many things I know, but there is also many things I don't know when we're talking about meltology, and that's okay. We all have the same questions. That's why we gotta think together so we can find the truth, because we can't find the truth we don't get the truth from the government, right? So here is one of these more so-called bunker-like structures. which is just a pocket of survival from the old wall, and this is what happened to the bricks. You can see the transition here. Here they are melting together, and here they are still separate, but all of course heat damaged and heat expanded and turned into what people call rocks and blocks, but they are all red brick. They used to be red brick, but all damaged now. And you got more aperture entrances into the building here, with something on the top, not sure what it is, but it's there. So here another one. These you can find all over the place, all over the realm. I'm sure you have seen plenty of them yourself. I have, at least, even here in my little area. And that's original openings into the building, and you can see the rest here. If you don't look close enough, you might think it's some kind of so-called mountain, but it's all bricks here, of course heat damaged and turned all rocky and blocky, but the whole thing here, the whole face of this thing is a building. The whole thing, you can see the brick lines in here cooked into block lines. This is more like what they will call mountain, but the heat damage was more intense up here. So it all melted together, but you still see the horizontal lines, which is the brick lines. And here again, look what happened to the red brick. You still see carbon 14 in here. You see the mortar being swollen a little bit between here, and they all expanded into bigger blocks here, opening into the melted building, and the rest of it looks like this, what many people would say is a mountain or something, a natural formation. It's not, it's a devastated building, I'm afraid. Got more stuff up here. So all melted buildings, all of it. And here, probably the same location as the two photos ago. Looks very similar, but you still have an opening archway into the building here, and the rest of it here, as you can see, are all you can see some of the bricks are still in here, but the rest of them turn into these rocky blocks. It's all heat damaged, and of course the plant life can come here and feast on these ruins for the carbon 14. They thrive very well in here, as you can see. They grow and cover the ruins, making stuff more difficult to see. See here how all of this can grow on the ruins. It's all a melted building, pocket of survival. And then I came across this interesting little place. I have a few photos of it. This is inside what people think is a cave or something. But you can still see this square column looking things at the side here. And here, 1, 2, 3, which are all, of course, red brick here. But you can see at the top, it looks like you got some crystallization action going on here. You see? Looking like... yeah, looking very similar to ice and stuff. Crystallization action going on, similar to maybe what we have in Antarctica. And here as well you can see all the C14 cooked out. It's all white now, and again you see this crystallization here. Whatever it is it ice? Is it crystals? I'm not sure. Here it looks like snow, ice, but again they look like snow and ice in Antarctica as well. But are they? Are they cold? Is it cold? Are these people very cold? You know, they have bigger or winter coats. It could be a cold location. I was too lazy to look up where exactly it is. I just grabbed the photos, to be honest. But I just see the evidence here, or that something is going on. You see the crystallization at the top here, and of course we know they are inside an old wall building that's melted. As you can see the texture here and these columns all the way. Of course it's built, it's not carved, or dug out, like they will claim. Here again you see crystallization or freezing, whatever, but you see the texture, and it's all inside a melted building, and looks like they are using it for something. And here a pocket of survival, just chilling in the middle of nowhere, and has the exterior concrete finish, but you can see the red bricks under it. And when these bricks here melt, their structural properties are changed, so they will crumble apart. And in the back here, this is brick ash. The bricks in this location got more mangled and cooked out, so they turned into this, and this is what people call dirt. And that's why you have this building all buried here, because the melt flood, the brick flood, started to flow and finding its path of least resistance, which is down. So it came here, but the bigger buildings behind it melted, and it started to flow and bury the buildings surrounding it. It's a melt flood, not a mud flood. You see the buildings surrounding this little thing here are all turned into ash now. All these buildings melting down and starting to flow, and this one happened to survive, so it was caught by the flood, the melt flood. No mud floods. 1964 is all bollocks. They just put that on there. It's way older, it's old world, and we know it. And here, interesting place, it's a lot of stuff going on, but let's start from one end. You have this bridge here, pocket of survival, of course, with some columns, some archway down here, some swelling action going on down at the bottom. Going over here, all the bricks turn into bigger blocks, of course, which you have seen so many times now. We got some scorching, and here it's more melting. Dustifying here, turning into dust. And then you got this pocket of survival here as well. Managed to survive, while the rest of the buildings looks like this. Look at the heat damage here. It's all buildings. You can still see remnants of apertures in here. Features of buildings. See here, archways, all buried, of course. You can still recognize, I will show you more photos, that these are in fact melted buildings and not a natural formation that somebody, Ooga Booga caveman, came here to carve into it. It's not nonsense, it's all melted buildings, all of it. And here you got this pocket of survival at the very top, and the building here. The part of the building below it all melted down, started to flow away from itself. That's what will happen. But then again you got some more pockets of survival sticking up here. Here, you got more remnants here. Barely anything left here. But you see the blocks here going all the way. Nobody built like this. It's all pockets of survival. And here, got them all over. Melted buildings. And here, a good example again, how the bricks here all balloon rocked and turned into rocks, what people call rocks. But then again, you see the red bricks here, some of them survived. And this is all the evidence you need here, guys. You can see the transition from bricks and over to this mangly fuckery, and then here see all the different, see how the heat damage is different wherever you look in this photo here. You got the bricks, you got the rocks, and here all melting together, and then of course up here turning more into like a clay like substance up here, or dirt, what they call dirt, whatever it is, and the plants can grow here. This is ash now. Altered states of matter. This was all a building, and the only thing you see left are the two openings and a little bit of the wall here. The rest is turned into this stuff here. Nobody built like this, it's a melted building. And here, this one was a little interesting because of course you got the archway and how the bricks all turn into bigger blocks here, but then you have this patch of red bricks just chilling there. While the rest of it is all blocks and heat damaged. Just found it interesting. And here you see the red brick here, you see them all mangled, cooked out, turn into rocks in here. Big blocks, see here, big block, and then pancaked bricks in between here, and then big blocks, right? This is very good evidence here. You never build like this. It's all heat damaged. And then this little thing here, red brick archways, all cooked out, turned into this rock looking things here. We got some bricks over these apertures, whatever they are, and the rest is gone. Got one archway, and the rest, it probably was plenty of these archways all the way, and it's just gone. It's all gone. And here another very melted little pocket of survival, and here I just want to show you here how you have this big rock looking things, which is in reality heat damaged and destroyed red bricks, and then you have all the bricks in between here. Do you honestly think somebody built like this? Are you really that dumb, my friend? Just look here, it's all cooked out, swollen and damaged. It's ruins. It's all ruins. All of it. And of course, let's go here to the bottom and see. You got the melt here. Melting, and then the further up you go, the bigger blocks. Big blocks. And then here all churning together. Very hot up here. All the bricks churning together. Do you think somebody built like this? Just look here. Look at the damage. It's all fried. It's fried. And here another little pocket of survival, and you see the transition here. The red bricks, of course, expanded into bigger blocks, and then here all melting into one chunk. You can see remnants of what could have been an archway here. Some stairs, and of course this opening up here with some carbon 14 up in there, and another archway, all cooked out of course and buried, melt from within here, filling it up and flooding it from within. It's no mud flood. The so-called mud or dirt came from the buildings. It's brick ash, no mud floods. People gotta understand that, because it's many people talking about mud floods and it gets us nowhere. It's a blind road, a blind path. So see the texture here on this one, viscous holes all over the place. Bigger rocks turn into rocks here. They will claim somebody carved here, but it is not carved or chiseled. It was built like this and then it melted. And just look at the texture, it was all bubbling hot here. And this thing sticking up. And here another pocket of survival, just sitting here next to some road and a modern gas station. Very disgusting buildings compared to this. But yeah, you see the heat damage. What happened to the bricks here? Turn into bigger blocks. You can see the difference here. More perfect blocks on this side, while it's all more mangled rock blocks on this side. You see lots of carbon 14 here between them in the mortar, I guess. And it's just a ruin here, and people drive by every day and they never think about it, they never question it, because they have been tricked and indoctrinated to not be able to question what they see. Another pocket of survival here, and you see here, you see the different levels of electricity flowing through the buildings, damaging the building component on different levels here, in layers. Electrical short circuit surging through these buildings and frying it in a specific way. And this is now what you have. You have bigger blocks, a row of big blocks, and then some bricks, and then blocks, bricks, blocks, bricks. It's the same all the way. Electrical component being fried. Pocket of survival again. Rest of the building turned into this mess here. They will call it a mountain. But you have this stuff sticking up here. All cooked out, of course. Look what happened to the red brick. Again, please watch my documentaries if you haven't. Link in the description box. And you will understand the different levels of heat damage and what happened. Okay, that's why I made the documentaries. So you should watch them and get educated properly. So you can again understand what I'm trying to say here, because if this is the first time you're here, you will most likely not understand, because I'm doing it a little more advanced here now than in the beginning. So in the beginning when I started to make the videos, so now you gotta catch up. Pockets of survival sticking up here all over the place, same location as we just saw. Got more on the top here, while the rest of the building looks like what they will call a mountain. Same stuff, old walled components on the circuit board sticking up here, while you got the footprints of some structures at the bottom here, all mangled, cooked out, balloon rocking, heat damaged, and buried, of course. Huge melt flood coming from here. These larger structures up here all melted, and all the melt came down, flowing down here, and started to bury whatever was lower. And here another building. You can see the brick lines underneath here, very cooked out. You see some archway and apertures into the building here, which again they will claim is carved. It's nonsense. Same location. You see the brick lines, you see the horizontal lines. You see the horizontal lines, my friend? How, you know, red bricks are all laid out. Oh fuck. Laid out like this. This is the same thing, but now it's all melted. It's all melted now, and this is what it now looks like. This is a building that's melted. It's not a mountain that's carved. Huge fucking difference. Okay, huge difference. That's why this is so important. That's why I'm making these videos. And here again you see the same stuff here, where you got different layers of electricity flowing through the components, damaging it differently, turning it into bigger blocks here, while some of the bricks are in better condition but very damaged, of course. Down here you got some blocking action going on, some balloon rocking, bigger blocks here, and here to the left it's getting more and more mangled, cooked out, very hot. In this area you still see bits of red bricks in here. Okay, see bricks all the way everywhere in here. Some of them survived. Here, a brick here as well. You gotta understand how all of this used to be red bricks. Here, look at all the bricks in here. Okay, why would you build it differently? You can see here they can use bricks. It's all good here, and on this side you just do this, which looks absolutely fucking disgusting. Because it is, because it's devastated, it's damaged. Here you see they had access to red bricks, could build perfectly, but they chose to do like this. Just look how fucking ugly it is. It's all cooked out. Red bricks, spires, and of course the bottom here cooked out. Cooked out. Heat damaged, friends. And here, very obvious one, not gonna say too much about it. Pocket of survival, and the bottom of the building, or the lower section, all got melted, heat expanded and swollen, and now looks like what they call mountains. But mountains doesn't exist in this reality. no such thing as mountains. It's all melted buildings. Yes, we live in the ruins and ashes of a past advanced civilization, and nobody told us. But I'm telling you though. So, yeah. Here, melting down, pocket of survival. On a very impossible place to build, with donkeys. Yeah, how did I get all the bricks up here with donkeys, friends? Nonsense. Rest of the building all turned into this stuff. See here, looks like aperture. Got stuff back here as well. Melted buildings, all of it. And here I just saw this little line going up here. Looks like the remnants of a wall or something, but all cooked out. And the rest of the building all melted down. Very, very cooked out. Very cooked out. You see the brick lines all the way through. Scorching, very hot. It's a melted building, melted structure. It's not a natural formation. Okay? This is not a natural formation. It's a melted structure. Look here at the scorching at the top. Melting. And of course, the bottom here is all brick ash, which people call sand. And here you gotta look at this picture. Let's see it from afar first, because these are all melted buildings. You can see the structure here. You see this is a structure. You can see columns here. You can see features of buildings here, right? You see the big block lines here. Brick lines cooked into block lines. You see more features. It's very melted, but if for the trained eye, you can clearly see this is a structure and not a natural formation. Look at the lines, horizontal lines going all the way, all the fucking way. And the top structure melted down. More brick lines and melting here. You see the side of the buildings, brick lines, faint features here, apertures maybe, possibly. It's very melted, very hard to see, but this is a very, very good photo. And here are some people for scale. See all this, block lines. You see? It's all melted buildings. And here again you see the brick lines cooked into block lines. Some are pancake brick lines just going horizontally all the way through here. Big block lines. Getting a little more spaghetti and twisted up in here. And up in here it's all melting, churning, cooking. And then of course you got these tops of buildings all the way. These are all, you know, these Antiquitech spire looking things just melted down, but you still see the apertures in some of them. These are the very top of the buildings, the rest are all melted down below, buried. These buildings were huge, they go very, very deep into the melts or the ashes. All tops of buildings and the whole building here as well. It's not a natural formation. Mother Earth cannot make these formations like that. And a place, of course, we have seen many times before, but here it is again. You see the structure here, all of course built and not carved, and it melted, and now you got this huge rock curtain melting over now from the mass, the building section above that's melting down, starting to cover itself here at the lower section with this rock curtain here melting over, but then it densified before it managed to cover the whole thing, and now we are lucky enough to be able to see it. Otherwise the whole thing could have been covered and we would never know what it was. Huge melted structure. all melted red bricks. It's not a natural formation. This was a huge archway or something, like a little bridge looking thing. Not sure. And then of course you got these huge block lines, and of course a lot of the features of the building is still here. Apertures, doors, windows, openings are still here, visible. Nobody carved anything. And the only thing that has doors and windows are buildings. Viscous holes melting down, opening all the way down here as well. And here you see the lines going through. Here, all the lines, all the lines, all the lines. It's all melted red bricks. Huge structures melted down. This is a ruined wasteland here, what you're looking at. It's a wasteland. And that was not all. Sorry, I thought that was all. We got a couple of more. Yeah, about 15 more. So yeah, here is the side of a melted building, and you got the rock curtain again, similar to the one we just saw, coming from above, melting down over, starting to cover the building. Nobody carved or chiseled this. This is all built in here. This is all built as a building that's melted, I mean. And here you got the features of the buildings. Apertures are still here. Openings. Remnants, of course. I don't think they go in very far because the building inside collapsed, most likely because of the melt. But the openings are still here, and you see the block lines all horizontal going all the way, and you can see the whole thing is like, it's like at an angle here, so it started to sink down into the ground like we have seen many times before. It's a huge melted building. And here you see people at the beach. For scale, people here taking photos and shit, and they have no clue what this is. Same area, I believe, and similar features as we just saw. A bunch of doors and windows into the building. Here you even got an archway and stuff, right? It's all a melted building. You just gotta open your heart a little bit and open your eyes and question what you have been told your whole life. Brick lines cooked into block lines, all cooked out and mangled. Here as well, it's all melted into one big chunk here. And again, they will come with the carving nonsense stupidity to deceive little innocent children at the indoctrination center, or I mean school. And here, very, very cooked out archways. You can see swelling and it's starting to drip down. Very cooked out. See here, very, very hot in this area. And the top, the bricks are still bricks. It's a little blurry, I'm sorry. Still bricks at the top. The plants can still find their way in here to grow and thrive and live there. And here, more melted buildings, as you probably expected. Openings down here, all ash at the bottom. Got this, whatever this used to be here. Nobody spent their whole life to carve all of these little squares here for no reason. This is concrete mold designs they used. Very easy. Exterior concrete molds on the red bricks, and you can have whatever design you want to, and you can make identical designs because the mold is identical. It's very easy. You don't hammer out and chisel out all these designs like they tell you. It's nonsense. The truth is much easier, my friend. Here, enormous, huge rock curtain just melting down. See the stains here of the melt, and of course you got the stairs here with concrete mold designs, typical old world stuff here. very, very melted. The ground here all melted into one chunk, melted together. And here this is what they would call the mountain, and this is what they would call the carving and chiseling. It's so dumb. It's so dumb how people still believe it. Okay, don't get me wrong, I used to believe the same thing, but I managed to get educated somehow, and now I can see it for what it is, so I can explain it to you for what it is, so you don't live your whole life based on a foundation of deception and illusions. See the building in here still? Openings, you can still see walls in here, apertures, but it's getting covered by the rock curtain. Got some aperture up here. More stuff here. It's a melted building. More stuff up here. Some apertures. Yeah, it's a melted building. Just look at it. Look how it's melting down like wax. And here you got this little river thing, and you got some pockets of survival sticking up here. Bigger blocks here, all churning, being cooked out here. You got this little tower, of course, and you got some pockets of survival up here. The top survived, the rest of the bottom here mangled. You see remains of apertures in here as well, and of course the background. You see the features of the structure are still here, the rest are covered with a rock curtain. And here, this red brick structure here, all melted. This is fused into here. It's all. This is the whole building here is this. Okay, these look the same. Got openings in here still. Of course, it's not carved like they tell you. So got some stairway down here, in here, whatever. You got more stuff down here. Stairway into the building still. You can still go into many of these buildings. Just look at the wholeness of this and tell me, especially behind here, tell me this is not a melted building. Tell me it's not a melted building, okay? Because you can't. Same place, slightly different angle, and you still see more stuff down here. The top pocket of survival, archway here, all cooked out red bricks. Turn into this. Nobody built it with this stuff, it's heat damaged. And you see this again here, with some apertures down at the bottom, etc. And of course, Cappadocia, Turkey. Seen this many times, showing you again. It's a melted building. It's not a mountain that was carved or chiseled. And here, remnants of melted buildings again. You see the similar features as we have seen plenty of times just in this video. See what happened to the bricks here, cooked into these rock looking things here. It's not rock. And here you got brick flood at the bottom, brick ash starting to flow. And you got apertures all over the place. Just take a look for yourself. I don't really need to say a lot about this one, it's obvious. You got a pocket of survival here. And apertures all the way, which of course, again, nobody carved. See up here? Openings in here. See what happened to the bricks. It's all melted buildings. And here you see the lines going through the whole thing, and this one tipped a little backwards. It looks like it's at an angle here, but you still see the features of the building here. See the apertures, tons of windows, roofs, spires and stuff, more apertures, and the rest is too cooked out. It's beyond recognition here because it got too cooked, way too cooked out. Got some stuff down here as well, pockets of survival, and a lot of brick ash. And here more melted buildings, and this is also the concrete mold designs they had, which they put on the buildings. And of course they will claim somebody carved into here all this detail, and look at all this tiny little archways here and stuff. It's a concrete mold, it's not carved into here. It's nonsense. And you got the same stuff up here, a bunch of these whatever they are, a bunch of them. Some of them are faint now because of they got too melted here. They will claim it's water erosion and stupid stuff like that to trick you. You got these tiny little archways all the way. All concrete mold designs. Here you see them again. Very melted, very faint here. You got them here. It's all melted buildings, all of it. And here as well, more melted buildings with apertures. Lots of C14 red in here still. It's all melted red bricks. You see this archway here. All these apertures, openings which nobody carved. And you gotta learn that so you can see your reality more accurately. And here, same deal. The top too melted and too rock curtained to have any features or apertures. You still see the facades of the building, but the bottom here, you still see all these apertures, doors, windows, openings into the building here, and brick of rubble and ash at the bottom. And here, very nice photo of these enormous structures. You see the lines going through them all the way again, the brick lines cooked into block lines, and all melted down. A-frames all over the place, melting flow lines. See this structure here with the roof, it's all melted down, brick lines, block lines. And here again, melted down, flow lines here, melting, with, of course, some apertures up all the way up here, which managed to survive. And they will claim some primitive monkey man came here to carve this all the way up here, with donkeys and stuff for all their stuff. Complete nonsense, I'm afraid. And here enormous melted buildings in the background. You see flow lines of the melt. You see the brick flood ash flowing away. And then you have this structure here of mangled bricks going all the way. And ash. And that was all the photos. Yes, okay. So yeah, thank you guys for hanging out with me here to take a look at this evidence together with me. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you saw something you liked. I hope you learned something. And yeah, take care, my friends, and I will see you very soon, hopefully, in coming video. Alright, goodbye, and we'll talk soon.